Welcome to a very special episode of the vlog. No. Welcome to a very special episode of the podcast.
The AmeriCAN podcast. Wow.
AmeriCAN.
Look, you sound great.
I'm in a closet.
And that's where you belong.
Closet conversations.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
I'm waving my mini American flag on a stick.
You realize no one can see you, right? This is the podcast. It's not our videos.
You mean my wife cut my hair for nothing?
Wait. You have a wife?
I have a wife?
You're married?
Yep.
Well, yeah, then yes, for nothing.
But I even brought you a gift. Your very own Canadian flag on a stick.
Thoughtful.
Wave it with me.
Alrighty. We are now waving the flags of Canada and the United States. You can't see it. It's not very spectacular. And it's definitely not how we wanted to introduce ourselves.
But here we are doing just that.
So welcome. I am Joseph, the Canadian.
I'm Jason, the American, and we're here to defend our stars?
And then I say, and leaves.
Oh, stars from the flag.
Yeah, what? Of course. But ultimately, we want to better understand each other, become closer as countries and as friends.
Did you write that? That's really nice.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Oh.
Well, secretly I hate him. You're the best guy, he's the worst. Let's get into it.
Let's get together. Let's get together. Let's get together. Everybody, let's get
Welcome for real to the podcast because what you were just listening to was a test earlier on, many moons ago, of what we tried to do to try to see if a podcast would work. First time anyone's ever heard it, right, was just then for you.
Congratulations.
I have no idea what we're doing, but this is a fine intro there. You'll be happy to know I put a light behind me, so it looks like I'm lit.
Wait, am I supposed to be recording on the camera too?
You know, the thing is to also put it up on YouTube as a podcast. So
Don't you dare! Don't you do it!
you mean you look better than me?
No, this is ridiculous. I was only prepared for audio. I'm in a closet. I haven't
You're in
even
a
showered
closet?
today.
I haven't showered either. It's okay. This is the reality of the pandemic life still. Yeah, you don't really need to shower.
If you're gonna be on YouTube, you should probably look a little fresh.
Meh. We can just blur. I'll blur you out.
The whole time.
Yeah, you just have a big blur your face the whole time. You look put together. So I don't know what you.
Well,
you
yeah, I
could've
mean, I
fooled
have
me.
a shirt on and I have a face, so I don't know if that. I don't know if that means anything.
Well, that's good to hear. Well, if you're still listening, we.
How long have we been talking? Oh my God, 3 minutes.
I don't know. But
No.
welcome to the first ever AmeriCAN podcast, where myself, the Canadian Joseph, and you, who are you?
You say AmeriCAN.
Yeah, because it's Canada, Canada. You know the logo thing. This right on my shirt. Well, if you're listening, you can't see it, but it's very nice.
No, I like that though, because then like even if I'm American, which I am in the United States, the can is more like a positive reinforcement.
Yes, you can.
AmeriCAN.
That's brilliant. Oh, what is this? Oh, look at that. See, what a perfect timing. So the whole episode today, we're going to talk about our reunion video and kind of what happened with that, and you know how it's gone since then. When we saw, so it's the first time we've seen each other in person in 18 months because the pandemic, the border was closed. They've opened it for Americans to come into Canada, but still Canadians cannot cross a land border. They can fly in with hundreds of people in a very small capsule.
Right,
but
that makes total sense.
Right, but in a single car with maybe a friend or your family or by yourself, you cannot get it over there. I mean, they want to be safe, so.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know, I don't get it. But anyway, we put out the video of us reuniting, and like people are just. It's so nice to see the people, how much joy they're getting out of our joy of seeing each other.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, you look fantastic. You look
You have
great.
legs.
You have legs too. Wow. Oh my God.
Oh my God, look at you.
What's up, buddy? Oh my God.
This is a real thing.
You're here, wait.
This is real.
Well, you smell fantastic.
Oh, thanks.
It's perfect because I just got a message or a comment came through from YouTube. This is from Silly Beggar One. OMG, I had tears in my eyes when you guys came together. So very happy that you were able to get together, even if just for one day. Butter tart should have been with raisins, not pecans. Oh, them's fight words, I think.
Yeah,
Have him try that one next time. Much better. What's that?
I just didn't know what to do. So I asked the lady, and she
Yeah.
said her first time was pecan. So I was like, okay.
We'll blame,
I'll try it.
we'll blame the lady at that pie place for that mishap.
Now, what pie place was that?
That pie place in
Right.
Burlington. Yeah.
Yeah, whose wife?
His way. That's that bit. The funny thing about that is that bit we did, and we recorded it, but then I realized my camera wasn't recording. So then we did it again, and I don't think it was as good enough to
It's never as good when you have to redo it. Yeah,
Definitely not.
Because it was like in the moment, and we just kind of went with it, and it was fun. And then you're like, oh yeah, we got to record that. I have a funny, not even funny. It's interesting. So you're not allowed to come across the border, but I've seen a handful of Ontario license plates over the past couple days, more than usual.
There's exemptions for medical things. So I had a neighbor here who has a place in Ellicottville who hasn't been there in a while, but he gets, when he can, I don't know if this is a good idea, but he gets a recommendation from a doctor to get an MRI in Buffalo. So that's been his way in once or twice in the last year or two. So that if you have a medical reason, you can go in. I mean, they're still to their discretion. So I think so what happened, he tried to go in because he wanted to first go to his like cabin or whatever it is in Ellicottville, just outside of Buffalo. Was it like an hour from Buffalo or so?
Yeah, not even.
Yeah, it's like a ski resort in the winter and like everything else in the summer.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, and he tried to go a little earlier, and they didn't let him in. They said, no, you're too early for your MRI, so you can't show up. So they sent him home. So.
Oh, that's interesting. As it's probably a rabbit hole to go down that path, but does he have to pay for insurance if he comes here to get medical?
I don't know I don't know what he has.
Pay for?
No, I think he'd have to have some sort of either through work or through something you can get like some coverage in the States. I don't know exactly how that works for him personally. So.
Yeah, because that could get pretty expensive.
Yeah, it does sound expensive. He went down later, and he stayed for 6 days, and in his way back, the Canada said, you've been gone too long. You can come in right now and pay $6,000 each.
What?
Yep. Or you have to go talk to this Public Health Canada guy who you have to go talk. So they went and talked to him. The public health guy, he said that he was a nice guy, and just like his hands were tied. He said you need to go get a COVID test done at the Buffalo airport, and make sure have that be negative, and then you can come through, because it was too long. I think it says 5 days or more is too long for like what you're exempt for.
Oh.
So, anyways, don't take any of this for fact, but that's what I've heard. But yeah, so he went to the Buffalo airport, like it's half hour away from the Peace Bridge border, got the test done, $200 each at least, I think he said, negative, and they came back across.
Wow.
But like, it's not worth the hassle to even try it if you're trying to, mess up with the system. Just what a headache.
Yeah, you'd probably be better off just buying a flight or even a private airliner.
Yeah, I'm optimistic though that in November of 2021, U.S. is saying that they're going to open it up to travelers. But they didn't say Canada and they didn't say land borders. But I'm hoping they're grouping it all together in November for that to open up, because then I can finally come see it and come do all the things in Buffalo that I've been missing out. There's so many like my whole life is there. Well, I still have a piece of my life there because I just finished my job there at PSE, and my desk is still full of my stuff. I haven't been back.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to eat wings. Good wings there. We got to do a wing tour, right? Like, where would you take me?
Well, I thought we had like, there's like your main like locations, which is like Duff's and Anchor Bar, but that's almost becomes a tourist trap at some points.
You got to do it.
Bad wings. They're very good wings. But I feel like everywhere you go, there's decent wings. Like you can't really mess that up. So there are like these underground places, and I'll put together a list. I'll even ask some people like what they think. And I think there's even a website that, talks a little bit more about some of these places. So when you do get here, I'll have that ready to go, and we can do a tour, like top 5 wing places in Buffalo.
Yes, we have to do that. So it's definitely been. How long has it been since we actually saw each other there for the reunion video? It's like
Since
3
the
weeks?
reunion video?
Yeah, 3-4 weeks.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 weeks and 4 days.
Wow. Doesn't seem that long ago because for me, I've been watching that day over and over and over. But when I was editing,
It also
the
doesn't
video.
feel that long for me either. But
Yeah.
September just went so fast.
What was from that day? How did you imagine it going? Did it go as planned, or did you think it went differently than you imagined, or what do you know?
Definitely different. But overall, like, it was the experience I was hoping for. So just arriving across the border, I honestly had no idea if I was even going to get in, what that was going to be like. So I got there thinking they could turn me away or they'd make me quarantine, in which case I'd have to defer back and say, nope, I can't come in to do that because I don't have that kind of time. So, just getting across the border alone was like, will I make it? But it was so easy. I felt like it was easier than normal times crossing the border pre-COVID. Like, I feel like,
Really?
I gave them the forms that they asked for. They didn't ask me all the like crazy questions. And the only part that they got tricky on was like, what are you doing?
Okay. First thing, we're gonna listen to something quick, but I'll ask you the second question after. But I have I was recording when you first called me after you crossed the border. So I want to listen to that right now.
Okay.
Oh my God, he's calling.
Hello.
Hey. Can you hear me?
Hello, Canada.
You're here?
I'm in.
You're in?
in.
Yeah! Woo! So where are you? In Port Erie somewhere?
Yeah.
How was the border?
It was great.
No
It was super easy.
Yeah.
No problems. I waited for like a minute. And then I got to the thing and he said, oh, what are you here for? I said, visiting a friend. He said, what do you do? I said, video. He's like, are you working? I said, no. He said, why is that not convincing? And I said, well, because my friend is working and he's a YouTuber. He said, okay. Then he said, all right.
Did they ask?
Here you go.
Did they ask to see the app or anything, or is that all like hooked up into their own system?
They didn't check it at all.
No, they didn't care.
All he really asked for was passport and my negative result.
Yeah. Oh, so you actually showed them the negative result though, like on the piece of
Yeah.
paper. Okay, so that makes sense then. At least they asked for that. Something that costs you an arm and a leg and the pain in the nose. Jeez.
I mean, yeah, I thought I was gonna when he started saying, "Why aren't you sure about that?" I was like, "Oh God, here we go."
Oh. You're not supposed to say no. You're supposed to say. You can't say it like that.
Oh, he must have caught just the slightest bit of like hesitation in my no.
Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hello.
As soon as I crossed the border, something happened with my phone's international plan, and then everything just started dropping out. I couldn't call you. My map wouldn't work anymore. It was like designed to go to your house, but I wasn't supposed to meet you at your house. So the map was like still taking me towards your house. So I was like, okay, well, worst case scenario, I'll just end up at his house and just keep knocking on the door until someone shows up. So I'm calling you. Finally, I don't know what worked, but I got charged for roaming later because it showed that. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you were roaming for X amount of time. So clearly that worked because then I was able to talk to you for a brief amount of time. Signal was spotty for half the trip. Yeah, so clearly I was like a little concerned, and you're giving me verbal directions, and I have honestly, like, I think he said this name of street. So I'm like in my head because I didn't have pen or paper and I didn't have access. I'm driving. And I didn't want to leave my path of driving because once you do that, the map gets all screwy.
Yeah.
Once it's already knows where it's going, and then like you're not getting signal.
Yeah, it won't reroute you if you change where you're going.
So now I'm like, okay, I think he said this street. He said it was like the first exit off of the Long Bridge. So I took that first exit off the Long Bridge.
That was completely my fault.
Clearly, it was three exits. Three exits after the Long Bridge. And so I just took side roads.
I don't even recognize those other ones.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry.
But it worked out because once I got really close and you had this whole thing set up, it was like, that's clearly them over there, even though you were like a mile away. I could see the flags. I could see like the whole park. and I could see all the fans that showed up, and I was like, wow, this is great.
A sea of fans.
The sea
that
of
was-
fans. I thought it
that
was a
was-
concert at first. I was like, no,
Yeah.
that's for me.
Yeah, well, if you watch, there was like 3 people there. That was really nice for them to come out.
That was amazing.
That was really
I was so
cool.
excited that people actually showed. Like, you know, who are
No,
we?
yeah, they brought you stuff to like from Canadian things.
Yeah, and those are all gone, by the way. I ate those within like day one.
You're pretty. Like I maybe it's just me. Because I would keep things for a long time without having to eat them. You go for it. And I like that because you at least use them up. I'm good and bad. I can have restraint, but also so much that it just ends up going bad.
Which blows my mind about you too, because it's like when you eat food, and then it's gone with it. You don't
I'm
even
an
know it's there.
opportunistic eater. If it's there and it's ready, I'm gonna eat it. But like if I have to open something and like I feel bad about it, I start to question myself. But if it gets prepared and like there's a lot of it flowing, like that's why buffets are a problem for me. Opportunistic eating.
I'm a huge snacker. I will eat all day, every day if there's food in front of me. Like I'll just snack. I'm like, oh, look at this bag of chips. Oh, look at this chocolate, and I'll just eat it and be feel shame later.
You sound like, because my wife, I have to hide everything from her. You know, she's like, okay, listen, you're gonna hide it from me and never tell me where it is, even if I ask you. And then literally, it's like a movie. And then, hey, so where's the chocolate? But you said to cover the chocolate. Oh, good. Take my wallet and leave me alone. Jeez. So that's the problem. I mean, that's like the year and a half here because we've been office mates because we've both been working from home and continue to. So
yeah,
it's been interesting.
So getting there was actually a lot more challenging than I anticipated. But when
after
I did,
the border was fine. But like after
so those are
it,
like literally those are all the parts where I had no idea. Like that was not what I had planned, but only because I had no idea what to expect. So,
wow.
But it worked out because I met you, and we hugged, and it was great.
That was a hell of a moment. Like it was almost like I was in shock. Like I don't feel like I remember being there. Like I had an out of body experience.
Well, the funny part, and I don't know if you want to get into it, because when I got there, you're like, wait.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I don't want to wait. I want to go see you. But you're like, no, we're not ready yet. The camera, hang on, let me get the camera set up. And I'm like sitting there in a parking spot, like no more than 200 yards away from you. And I was just like sitting there, like, this is so awkward. Yeah. I want to go run and see you and say hi. But you're like, no, wait.
No, you just wait a minute, huh?
Stay.
Because, I actually put up the raw clip on Patreon. We have a Patreon page for if anybody would love to support us. That's where to go, and we have a lot of extra content on there behind the scenes. So that's one of the things. I put the raw kind of moment up on our Patreon page because what you see in the video is just a recreation of the moment, and then it cuts the real moment of us hugging. Just to heighten everything, right? We did a slow-mo thing if you watch it. And you hear some of the real audio underneath it. But for the actual real moment, very anticlimactic. It's, as you said, it's just me saying, no, God, stay in your car.
I don't want to see you yet. I'm not prepared for this.
If you're up for it, there is that version of it is up on the Patreon. So there you go. But that was interesting. And then we did the thing. We did the gift exchanges. We brought each other all this crazy stuff. As you said, it's everything. So is everything I've given you gone too?
Yes.
I don't even remember what it. Huh?
I still have the Swiss LA packs.
Oh, okay. Well, those will last a lifetime. Yeah. There's a lot of. You got a lot of stuff, and it's all gone.
It's all gone. Most of it,
amazing.
Again, most of it's snacks, so those are easy to eat.
True.
And the family loves them too. And then I went to visit my family in Cincinnati, and I brought a bunch with me then. I'm like, You got to try all this food. So I brought chips, the all-dressed chips. I brought ketchup chips. I brought a couple other snacks, and they're like, this is great. We never had these before. So that's why it went quicker than probably normally would have. But they would have easily been gone like 3 weeks ago anyway.
Right. Now, we did a live premiere of this episode. It was the first time we've really ever done that, which is the video's done. Instead of just uploading it and letting it go, we did it where everybody could watch at the same time, and there was a live chat, and it would play, and we were on there chatting with everybody. Well, it was premiering. So how did you feel that went?
That was good. You're always worried about like, is it gonna get the traction that you want when you want it? But I think just being there to hear the comments and see how excited everyone was to wait. This is the episode they've been waiting for, and then being able to quickly comment. Now, I'm not as good in the comments as you are, but we had that interaction with the fans, and that was really fun. So I liked that.
Yeah, it was really nice and humbling to see the people say the nice things they did and watch something. Right? This, as video creators, there's two things. One, we would make the videos even if nobody watches, which is most of our careers. But two, you really want people to see the things you make. So like, again, having people feedback, loving it is like just the best thing ever. So I love that, and thank you for doing that if you were one of them, and if you continue to watch even after the premiere. So what is to come for us? What do we do?
We have been talking about the sharing Thanksgivings.
Sharing Thanksgivings is one of them. That's, again, with the border unknown issues, I don't know. It might be tough, number one, to get you here again. You got to do the testing. You got to do all this, the timing. You have a life.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's definitely not as easy as just like, I'm coming over and I got it.
Do it.
Good to go.
And then, even at this point, I wouldn't be able to go anyway because of the border closed. That's why I'm hoping, like in November, they're going to open it up so I can at least come for your November Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Which is far too close to Christmas, but that's another discussion for another day. For that episode, I think.
Yeah, I think if we can make it work, it'll be great, because I'd love to. Although yours is like not even like traditional Canadian Thanksgiving. Is there a traditional Canadian Thanksgiving?
It is. So the one you're going to go to, which is my wife's side, they do the traditional style of. Okay. Whereas my Italian side, you go to Thanksgiving. There's no real turkey. It's pasta, it's veal, it's everything a normal Italian meal would be. Any excuse to eat Italian food in an Italian family, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
No matter what day. Oh, it's turkey and pie day. Pasta.
But then you get there, and you show up, you're like, wow, what a feast. Thank you for putting on such an amazing Thanksgiving feast. Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving.
Oh.
That's my nonna, yeah. This is what they say, after you eat about three bowls of anything, she'll look at you and say, man, have some more. or she pretends that she didn't see you eating anything.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want the pasta. You don't want the veal. No, I literally just had like the most out of anybody. I watched everybody. I had the most veal out of anybody. I'm okay. Okay. All right, give me another one. And that's why I eat a lot. I've been trained my whole life to eat for hours, and a lot of it.
You don't want to disappoint, so
exactly.
You got to just keep eating.
Immediately for us, what's coming up is there's two new episodes that we have already filmed.
All about that.
Right? Because you were here for the one day for like what, 7 hours maybe at the most?
If that, yeah.
Yeah, and we filmed 3 episodes in one day. So we filmed the whole reunion, and then there was clips of it in the reunion, but it was just a tease where we went and did a full episode inside a Canadian Tire and a full episode at Harvey's, the Canadian food burger place. And
it is funny though, like how the certain places you walk into, and then you could tell right away if people are going to let you do it or not. Canadian Tire was not one of those places. Like, you could have walked in there with the whole film crew, and they would have been like, "Yeah, you're good. Go ahead."
Oh yeah, come on, Edie.
No, it was great. Yeah, I forgot all about that because it was such a jam-packed day. Yeah, that like in the episode we were eating, but within all that eating, we were eating more for other episodes. And the Canadian Tire obviously was
Canadian Tire was your break from food.
Yeah, it was like the one thing that didn't require eating.
Eating. There's a lot of other stuff that, from the comments, like I get good ideas for the future. Like, oh, we could have done the beer store and LCBO. Like that's its own kind of thing. We need to do. Well, obviously, I got to bring you to Toronto downtown and like AmeriCAN explores Toronto. Like that's That's something that, like, there's just so many little things that that can be episodes. And next time you come, we can do another 2 or 3 episodes in a day. Although Thanksgiving might be its own thing.
You could do like Toronto versus New York City.
Hey, that's something. That's really interesting. I like that.
Although you probably know way more about Toronto than I do about New York City, so I'd have to get like a somewhat like a guide or something to help us,
Perfect.
tour New York City.
Yeah, we can hire. I'm sure they have guides there.
So like if we did Toronto first, we could be like, all right, we did all these things in Toronto. Give us that same experience in New York City.
That's something. We'd have to go. We got to go down to New York then. That'd be fun. We've done it a couple times before.
Yes, we have.
There's a whole vlog about that. You and I, our whole adventure that couple days.
That predates the AmeriCAN series.
Yeah, before we did any of these American versus Canadian stuff, right? I was just vlogging my life and putting it up for about 3 to 4 people to watch.
I was one of them. Well, we did the Harvey's thing, right?
That was interesting. I won't say anymore. I just want, it's something you have to watch to see what happened and what the taste was and all that. So
I don't know. I may offend Canadians with that one.
I'm gonna bleep that. I may bleep Canadians.
Yeah. No, don't do that. This was so much easier when we worked together and we saw each other every day, and we could step aside during lunch and be like, what are we doing next? And like literally just every day talk about the show.
That was the beauty of how this started, right? It was just so natural because we were working together every day, and I was coming in from Canada, and it was great. It was great. I miss it. I miss that for sure.
And the first one we did was the grocery store.
That's
and
right.
The first one that really took off was the McDonald's one. And then
remember, so the grocery store did take off first.
It took off more than any other one prior, right?
Yeah, but it took like 3 months before that hit. You know what happened? My friend Steve Dangle, who some of you may or may not know, who was a voice in the sports industry here in Toronto, mostly covering Maple Leafs. He's like a crazy Maple Leafs fan. Anyways, great guy. He tweeted that out like several months after the whole thing even released. Like he tweeted out the link, and that started to roll. So I definitely got to thank him for that. I think that really helped push it initially.
Thanks,
right?
Steve.
So, thank you, Steve. We should talk about more when we do another episode. We pitched this show, a version of it as a TV show to Netflix and other places. That's a whole other story for another day. So we'll leave you with that. But again, thank you, Jason, for this and for being the best American I know.
That's high praise, actually. You know a decent amount of Americans.
I was going to say, and the only American.
Yeah, right.
No. I guess if you're listening, I don't know if there's a subscription button on podcasts or not, I have no idea. But if there is, if you want to, you can, but.
We won't hold it against you.
Yeah, but if you're watching on YouTube, you can subscribe to this channel. Or if this isn't on the main channel, you can subscribe to my name, just Joseph Benedictus. That's where all the videos are. And we hope to see you in the next video and or podcast. You can watch some more anytime you want. Go to the channel. There's a lot of stuff. A lot of people seem to get down rabbit holes when they go watch or discover us for the first time.
We're sorry.
Very
in
sorry.
advance.
I've heard a lot of people say, I've learned a lot more about Canada. I guess they're American. A lot more about Canada than I ever thought I would or ever cared to know. So I don't know if that's like a backhanded, thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot. I needed that. This is something that we've talked about, though, and I keep adding more. But, as we go forward and we do these more, we want to add in more perspectives and, the experts. And we have done it from time to time, the expert opinion or someone who does it for a living. But I think that's a great way to...
That's what we want. And that's 100% leading into what the series of this, the TV show version of this would definitely be.
Yes.
Would be leading into those experts or people who are experienced in said topic.
Yep. Because we don't know anything about nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We're just two schmoes sitting in our basements and you in a closet.
Just excited to eat some food.
That's it. Just looking for a meal. That's really the whole impetus of this. We're just looking for a place to sit down and eat. Well, enjoy that closet there, and
It's getting a little hot in here.
Yeah.
Better call it.
yeah,
pass
sounds
out.
good. All right, thank you so much for listening or watching, and let's just hope the world gets better and it just becomes easier and easier again to cross the border. We'll see you next time. Bye.
I'm waving goodbye.
And so am I.